So I am thoroughly impressed with this little machine right here, guys. This is the Viking battery charger that I picked up from Harbor Freight. It was part of their Black Friday sale. I paid 50 bucks for it. I think normally it goes for 70. Let me give you a quick backstory here of what it did. So as you guys can see here, this is a newer battery manufactured in June of 24. It's now December of 24, so it's about a 6-month-old battery. It's just a deep cycle marine battery. We use it on our little pop-up trailer. This battery worked great. Didn't have any problems. And then when we were done using it for the summer, and I knew better, guys. I knew I should have disconnected the battery right then and there, but I didn't. And then I forgot about it for a while. And then sure enough, it had been sitting there for several months. And I knew that it would be a low state of charge, but I didn't know it would be as drained as it was. Anyone want to guess what the voltage was when I measured it with my multimeter? 0.38 volts. It was down to 0.38 volts. I knew just like any car sitting there for several months, it would be low, but it was so low, in fact, that this little 4 amp Duracell trickle charger that I've had for a while now, this couldn't even register that it was connected. A lot of these newer ones, they have little chips in them, and they know whether they're hooked up to an actual car battery, and if they're not, then they won't run any current through them. So what I had to do was I went to my old school Sears one here that I got years ago at a swap meet. I got this one because it doesn't have the fancy chips that the new ones have. So it's not a smart charger so much as more just an old school manual charger. And I bought this for an electrolysis tank that I was making. And basically for this one, all you gotta do is plug it in, set it to the amps that you want, and it'll flow. It'll flow current through it. It doesn't matter whether it's a car battery or not. So that worked for my tank. So since I couldn't get this one to even register that it was hooked up to a battery, I used this to slowly charge it, and I left it on there for over 24 hours, and it was slowly getting a charge. It got up to about 6 volts, but as soon as I took this off, the voltage started to drop. So I was thinking, you know, shoot, maybe I'm out of luck, guys. Maybe I actually did kill this brand new battery. It is still under warranty, of course, but I didn't know if they would deny the claim because it is definitely my fault. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the current voltage. For anyone that doesn't know how to measure the voltage of a battery with a multimeter, all you gotta do is, you know, turn it on, of course, and then set it to the volt setting. So there's that V that has the lines there, and then choose your resolution. So for this, we want to measure something roughly around 12 volts. So I'll choose 20, and then it'll measure from 0 to 20 volts. And then look at this. Even me just touching these terminals, that's the amount of volts currently going through my body. This was at 0.38. So that tells you how dead that this thing was. Okay, so then of course red on the positive, black on the negative. And there you go. That's a fully charged battery, guys. And again, this hasn't been hooked up to a charger for about 2 days now. So it seems to be holding a charge fine. So let me show you how this thing works when it's on. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in here. It'll tell you to stick the clamps on the charger. For the first, I think 30 seconds, it'll let you manually choose the settings that you want, and then I think after the 30 seconds is up, it'll go into an auto setting mode. But anyway, so I'm going to put the red clamp on the positive here and the black on the negative. All right, there we go. And so it tells you, and again, we verified this, it was at 12.83 volts. So it's saying 12.9 and 100%. So again, this is the setting I used. I just hit this recondition button and it does that. It says battery in repair now. When you're done, it'll tell you. And then it also has a winter mode for right now. You know, it's super cold outside. That's probably what I'll use from now on. Just trickle charge it. You can pretty much use it on any type of car battery or deep cycle battery. It works on standard lead acid batteries, AGM and gel batteries, and then it charges on either the trickle charge setting, so the 2 amps, 8 amps, or the fast charge, which is 15 amps. And here's the manual button. So if you go through all the settings and you change it to the one that you want, then you just hit charge, and that's how you start it manually. Otherwise, that auto feature should kick in. But all I did was I left it on this setting. It took about 24 hours. So once I took it off of that Sears battery, it was at about 6 volts, but it was dropping quickly. So quickly that by the time I got this one on there, it was back down to about 2 volts. So it was not really holding a charge. So I think the only way to really get it to hold that charge was to use the reconditioning mode on here, which is a desulfation mode. So what happens, guys, when a battery goes into a very low state of charge, something happens called sulfation, which is lead deposits that build up on the lead plates in the battery, and they prevent it from being able to hold a charge. And so this is supposed to help reverse that process by breaking up some of those deposits. This does do high frequency charging, which I'm curious if that's the primary source of being able to recondition these batteries. I wonder if it works kind of like a ultrasonic parts cleaner, where the high frequency kind of breaks up those, you know, the buildup. I'm wondering if it works the same way. And that's really why I bought this charger, because it was advertised that it could help with sulfation buildup, which I knew had pretty much happened, considering how long it had been in a low state of charge, and especially being so low. I mean, a lot of times if you leave a car battery hooked up and you don't drive a car for a month or two, it'll be low. It might be like 11 volts, maybe even 10 something, and it'll need a charge. But I was shocked when I put it on there and I saw it was less than half a volt. I thought I had ruined this battery, and I really didn't have much hope that this would be able to fix it. But I thought, what the heck, might as well try. Yes, it's under warranty, but they might not accept the claim based off the fact it was pretty much user error. So what else can I say, guys? I mean, what else do you want a battery charger to do? If it can bring back a battery that's been at a low state of charge, less than 1 volt for months, and then bring it all the way back to the point where it's holding a charge, I mean, that's as much as you can ask from any battery charger. It probably does help that this is a newer battery, but even then, I mean, that was really, really low. It was so low, I probably could have ran a wire from the positive to the negative, and I don't even know if it would have sparked. I mean, that was as dead as it gets. So there is a warning or a setting in here too. It'll actually tell you if a battery is bad, if it can't repair a certain battery. You know, if a battery's been sitting for years and it's just dead and done, there is probably a limit to what this can do. Again, it probably helped me that this is a newer battery, but still, it was low for quite a while, you know. I'm wondering how it got so low. I knew that based off of how long it had been hooked up, which was about 3 months not being used. I think what happened, none of the lights, the fridge, all that stuff was on, of course, but there is a fan for the heater. Now, of course, the heater couldn't turn on. There was no propane going to it or anything, but I think that fan could have possibly still kicked on in certain temperatures when the thermostat read that it was lower than a certain temperature. And I think that fan could have slowly drained it if it was coming on every night as the temperatures dropped at night. That's kind of my theory on what probably happened. I don't know for certain why it drained so quickly. It is winter here now, but it's really only been super cold for the past few weeks. So anyway, guys, that's my quick little review on this product. I was just amazed, you know, for 50 bucks. Again, what more can you really ask of a battery charger? So hope this helped, guys. It's worth a shot, you know, versus just going out and buying a brand new battery, which is going to cost 3 to 4 times what this costs. So